I began practicing law in 2009. Started out in my hometown of Cartersville, Georgia, which was always my dream to go back home and practice where I've lived, where I was born and raised. After a couple years, I took a leap into the corporate world and became in-house counsel. And while I was there, our local chief magistrate in Bartow County had just ran for his last term. And while I was working as in-house counsel, I had someone come up to me and say, "Hey, Brandon, this is the current judge's last term. I thought you would be great for that position. You should consider running." And I laughed at him. I never pictured myself as chief magistrate in Bartow County or even a judge. I really had considered it. And I said, okay, I appreciate the thought. And then the next week, someone else, someone totally random, said the same thing. And then fast forward another week, someone else said, "I was just in magistrate court and I could really see you in that position." And I guess being a man of faith, I said, "Okay, big guy, I'm stubborn, but it sounds like maybe some divine intervention or maybe just meant to be that is my role." And as I continued to work the next few years while that seat came open, I realized I found myself in magistrate courts all over the state of Georgia. And I've seen the good, bad, and the ugly as far as processes and how people were treated, mostly good, but I saw things that could be improved upon. And I realized that I think I was in all those places for a reason. And so when I ran for the position of Chief Magistrate of Bartow County, I already had a plan. I had ideas and ways to improve. I think we could always improve upon our services. And so that was a big reason why I ran. I wanted people to feel comfortable in our court, to have the access to justice. I wanted them to be heard. And that was my path to judge. I ran for an open seat against 5 people, and luckily I prevailed. I'm in my second term right now. You know, there's a couple great aspects to my job. One is getting to know all the magistrate judges across Georgia, a fine group of people. 2, probably my most important aspect of this job is getting to work with the people of Bartow County. There's nothing like someone that comes to your court that's having a bad day. If they're coming to see us, they're typically not having a good day. They've lost their freedoms. They may be out some money. They may be trying to recoup money that puts food on their table, gas in their tanks. They're intimidated by the legal process. They may not know what they're doing. So even though I can't advise them legally, I can make them feel comfortable, advise them as to our processes, how we work, put them in touch with resources on our website to make them feel comfortable to come and present their case. And many times, whether I rule for them or not, they appreciate the compassion and the customer service that my clerks provide. And that means a lot to them. And so to have someone to come up and brag on your clerks or to brag on your judges means a lot to me. One of the goals that I'd like to accomplish in leadership is to expand access to justice. There's a lot of people who are seeking justice in the state of Georgia who may not be able to afford attorneys, may not understand the process. Anything that I can do to help make justice available to not only people in my county but across the state, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to look into it. I want people to feel comfortable coming to our courts. I want them to be equipped and empowered. That way they know how to present their case, what's expected. Because I don't want anybody to lose just because they're ignorant to the process. I was trained in it, but these pro se litigants that come to our court unrepresented every day may have no clue as to what's expected. So my hope is to equip people the best as possible so they can have the best outcome for their case. Okay, so I have a problem. I have a lot of books and not much time to read, but I usually have 2 or 3 going at once. So there's 2 books I'm reading. One is John Grisham's Camino Wins. It's kind of a companion book to Camino Island, and a little short background. Ever since I was probably in 5th or 6th grade, that was when I read A Time to Kill, and I became a fan of Grisham and the law. And so a tradition in my family has been my parents have given me his new hardback every year when it comes out. One usually comes out around my birthday, so I get that as a gift. And one usually comes around spring or Valentine's Day. So my mother and father always gifted me with the latest Grisham book. So I'm currently reading that. I'm also reading the Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, which is a book that really talks about taking time to step back, to refuel so you can continue to pour into others. Because if you're continuing to run on empty, you're going to be less effective. So I look every day to better myself, better my court, and I find that a very interesting book so far. I'm only a couple of chapters in, but so far I highly recommend it. It's The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. And I recommend it to a lot of judges and people in the legal profession. I think they can find it helpful.